Nothing costs $1 anymore. So you 2 pennies each time you go up $1. Louise, okay, you do the fucking math in your head. Buenas Micronesia, welcome to our studios here in Hagåtña, Guam. My name is Troy Torres with Candid News. Before we get into the meat of everything, let's go to our, well, first of all, sorry. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing all right? If you could do me a favor and go to the bottom of your screen, everything okay? Go to the bottom of your screen and press share and share to other people's timelines and to your timeline and to whatever groups that you're in. We would really appreciate all that. That really does help. So the first thing that we're going to do is take a look at Guam Lost and Found Pets on Facebook and help people out who are looking for their dogs or cats. Let's find something here. Okay, Darlene Bautista on May 4 wrote, "Hi everybody, can we go to my screen? I need your help in locating my missing orange kitten named Nabi. Nabi? He was last seen on Sunday, April 28 at approximately 11:30 a.m. in Laddie Plantation wearing a green collar with a bell attached to it. Nevertheless, the collar is a bit loose and constantly comes off. Thus, he might be walking around without it now. If you spot him or know whereabouts, please give me a call at 632-4649 or 482-2690. Thank you and God bless you all. Let's hear what she has to say."
Nabi. 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 Nabi.
Oh shoot, sorry, my NDI? That's that Chinese thing again. Hold on. Just so you guys can see it. Yes, I'm the D-Link. It's because I turned my computer off and then I turned it back on. Sorry. Do you see it now? Okay. So here it is again, Darlene Bautista. So you can see the kitten. Well, let me just blow this up.
Nabi. Nabi. Nabi.
So that's, I believe that's Darlene Bautista. And she's asking for your help. The kitten was lost around Laddie Plantation. Now, cats have this awesome way of finding their way home. They're a lot smarter than dogs are. And I love both cats and dogs. I'm not being discriminatory here. I'm just being real. Cats are just a lot smarter than dogs. And they have this awesome sense of direction. So if this cat hasn't been home since she was probably picked up by somebody, if you've seen this cat or if you are one of the workers at GAIN and you've seen this cat, please give Darlene a call at 632-4649, 482-2690. The cat is wearing, or the kitten is wearing a green collar. It looks like it has a bell too. We featured this one last night from Mackie's Son, reposted by Twyla again, of a lost dog named Bruno in Liguan Terrace, or in Liguan Derredo. It's a girl and has been missing, I'm not sure how long. It doesn't say how long the dog's been missing, but this was posted on May 6th, just 2 days ago. And then 2 days before that, on May 4th, from Pago Bay, and we mentioned this last night, Twyla again also reposted from Alex Russo, a cat named Liam, who's also orange and white, who just moved here. The cat is spayed, microchipped, and not currently wearing a collar. If you see this cat, call 687-0994. It's fucking funny. Okay, so anyway, off to our agenda. And if any of you tell me that the Calvos distribute Doritos, I'll hurt you. Moving on to Mariana's dirty laundry. So, Richmond Connor, let's go back to my screen. Richmond Connor is a funny ass motherfucker. He posted. So I believe that's Glenn Santos, the child rapist who was convicted this week. He he held out his hand because he didn't want the media to capture his picture, except he didn't do a very good job at it. Richmond Connor wrote enough on this motherfucker's hand. And it's always in the comments, my friends. Paul Blas, enough Nye, stop touching young Punkit. Chris Berg, one of my favorite people in the world who I've never even met. Fuck, this is gold. He says to Richmond Connor, you are now qualified as top fan on this page. Please check your general settings to enable MDL badge. Chris, I would like to be top fan status on Mariana's Dirty Laundry, okay? I am like one of the top fans of Mariana's Dirty. It is my favorite fucking page on Facebook, and and I promote it all the time. Where is my grapes? Where's my plate of grapes that I should be eating while laying sideways like a fucking emperor? Angela Castro says, wait a minute, is that the Moffinus perv? Amy Castro says, is it? Fuck you, asswipe. Moffinus. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, so it is Glenn Santos, another sexual predator found guilty. Jay Speed says, your age is more than the Pulu she had, Gatsu. Gatsu. Alessia Cananta says, winning cover shot. Brad Hewitt, bravo. Always count on Brad Hewitt to have some witty comeback to something, even if you don't agree with him. I fucking love Brad Hewitt, all right? There are a lot of things that he says that I agree with, a lot of things he says I don't agree with, but, and I'm sure he feels the same way about me, but I've always respected the guy for just fucking saying it, just putting it out there. He's like, well, this is true. Well, this is my opinion. Well, your opinion is stupid. Karen Palomo, please make this the next cover photo. Sevi Siswico, he's out barbecuing this weekend. They should post his address. What is his address? Yeah, we would like to post his fucking address, since that stupid judge, whoever the fuck the judge was in that case, allowed him out. He is on pre-sentencing release. They have all these pre-releases, you know? Johnny, our friend Missy Ray, and I were talking about it today. And we were like, Jesus Christ. Why hasn't the court system, you know, like, caught up? Why hasn't it crawled from underneath its rock and caught up with 2019 and everything that the people of Guam are bitching about? Why does it keep releasing all of these people into the community? And Missy Ray's like, oh, you haven't heard? The only people that the court likes to lock up is Johnny Rosario. And I was like, no fucking shit. And she never hurt anybody. I mean, she's punched out some people, but they fucking deserved it. And then, wait, before this one, hold on. No, is it that one? oh, this one. This one's a winner right here. Bob H. Kennels. Are we back on my screen? Well, let's have that play again. Michael Carlo Netterdog says that'll be one Punkit Palabok to go, please. Hashtag Jollibee. Joey Nanetti, she has to practice the moves knife for extra tip. Hee hee. Cake. Oh my God, this is gonna be. It's gonna take me forever. Kakea. Tidinko Bertelman says specials going on. J Speed, she does 4 things at once with 2 signs. Cedric Maravilla airing it out for the next customer. Venting that shit. She's doing the J. Dean Tun Cap. Alicia Kanata, Kegels. Lad DeLeon prepping her hashtag Jollibee. Oh, Jolly Baby. Okay, here's Cedric Maravilla and Lad DeLeon getting into the Jollibee thing. It's like their thing on Mariana's Dirty Laundry. He says, man, I hope I can eat Jollibee without that popping into my mind now, fucker. Alessia Kanata to Cedric Maravilla, Chicken Joy. Andrew Mariano, Chick and Joy. Michael Carlinero, that's when he says, that'll be 1 pumpkin palabok to go, please. Lad de Leon, always coming to Jollibee's defense. You're gonna make my Kababayans angry. Jose Huggins says, that's what happens when too much immigrants. Philip Gann, that lady a bitch. She don't let people park in that complex unless you're a resident. Isn't that the same complex that has that really good restaurant? The fuck is the name of that restaurant? The one with the best spare ribs in town. What's the name of that restaurant, Chelo? Not Schwann's. I can't remember the name of this. It has the fried spare ribs, right? That's the one. Zozo's. Oh, and they have really good lumpia too. Brad Hewitt says she's always outside, either walking back and forth or that hula hoop. Maybe Chris Avalancha has seen her often when he drives to and from his office. Jason Gumentalta says she needs to work the hips for the happy ending. Ashley Ashley, it's one of those backward name things. That's Angie, she was always working out in the front. Peter Taitano says, warming it up. I fucking love Mariana's Dirty Laundry. You guys are the shit. I love all of you, especially when you're all fighting. I have some news on tax refunds. It's not anything groundbreaking, and it's not anything that's gonna make, well, maybe it'll make you a little bit happy. But before I bring you that news, let me explain tax refunds just a little bit. We brought this to you a few days ago. This is let's go back to my screen. This is a sort of illustration that we put together to show you the pace of tax refunds. Now, the numbers in this have not really changed all that much. Let me explain it to you. So last year around this time, we show how Governor Eddie Calvo in his report to the legislature on tax refunds for the month ending in April shows how the guy paid out 10,046 tax refunds by the end of April, amounting to $35.58 million, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, $35.58 million to taxpayers. This represented 26,856 refunds that were returned, that were filed, not processed. I made a mistake there. Now, in comparison to the Leon Guerrero administration by the end of April, and this is in the compilation of reports that we were able to get, and based on the facts of information and data that were coming out of Revenue-Tax and DOA, the same time last year in a year-to-year comparison, they had paid out only 300 tax refunds. Now that's been updated to be somewhere around 3,900 2018 tax refunds, except we're not entirely sure how many of those 3,600 tax refunds that they recently said that they were going to mail out this week were actually for 2018. They were never specific in those details. And it's been like cutting teeth to get the Leon Guerrero administration to release any information regarding its financials, anything that will paint a clearer picture for all of us on what the financials actually look like. We can go back to me now. But at the very least, 3,600 tax refunds, and according to Janela Carrera, have been mailed. So let me read you the message that I got from Janella just earlier tonight. Because someone asked me if they said they filed on January 28th, but they still haven't received their refund. I said, well, they didn't say that they mailed out the refunds. They said they were going to mail out the refunds this week. So I asked Janella. Janella, has the announced batch of refunds been mailed out yet? This was at 8:10 p.m. tonight. At 8:16 p.m., she responded, the $16 million that was announced Monday? Yes. They began mailing out Monday, and the rest went out either Tuesday or today. So I said thank you, and she said you're welcome. So if you're waiting for your 2018 tax refund and you filed on January 28th and you are an A status, that refund should be in your mailbox no later than tomorrow, according to the timelines that the U.S. Postal Service provides. I happen to know about those timelines because my dad retired from the post office. So when I asked my dad, I was like, Dad, if you mail something from Guam to somewhere else in Guam, like how long does it take? He said, no later than a day. I said, like in any circumstance, what about during Christmas? He says, no later than a day, son. No later than a day. I said, okay. So if you don't get your tax refund in the mail tomorrow, there are a couple of possibilities. One, there's a Saki Melania who took it from your mailbox. Two, you were not A status. Or three, the administration is lying. But I really, I hate to believe that the administration is lying about something like that, seeing as how like everyone's on their ass about tax refunds. So, if you do not receive your tax refund in the mail tomorrow, and it should be in the morning, then call, I believe the number is 635-1840 or 635-1841, and ask Reverend Tax about the status of your tax refund. And the other thing is, if your refund was not on A status and you provided a phone number for Reverend Tax, they should have called you. They should have somehow made an effort to inform you that your refund is suspended or is under audit. So that's like an S status is for suspended, and under audit is, I can't remember the status letter. It's been a while since I've been in government, but A status is what you're looking for. You're looking for a tax refund. I thought about my friend June Paris. June Paris, the bitch on wheels from the Guam Memorial Hospital. You know, the one who I thought was the mother of my cousin Nora's husband, Chris Rapola. And okay, all right, it is an honest fucking mistake. Like, I didn't know that they weren't related. They look the same. I just thought that maybe, you know, she divorced his father or something, and that's why they had different last names. I didn't fucking know that they weren't related at all, whatsoever, or that, like, I don't. However, we did here at Candid put together one of those what if scenarios. So it goes something like this. What if June Perez had a baby with Agana Heights Mayor Paul McDonald? What would I can hear it now. Don't even bother telling me that I'm really mean. It's just gonna go in one ear and out the other. Oh my God. I swear to God, Mayor McDonald. Okay, so that's obviously, okay, in case you didn't realize, that's a fake eyeball. He lost his eye, okay? And rather than wallowing in our sorrow and despair about it, I figure, we can just make some light of it. But let me tell you something about Mayor Paul McDonald, though. And I needed an intro to our next segment. That was funny. It was a little lighthearted because this is not an easy thing. Like, I have a hard time reading this story about the 4-year-old boy, and I have a harder time talking about it. But that's why I needed to inject some humor there. Plus, I hate June Perez, and she's just a fucking bitch. But let me tell you something about Mayor Paul McDonald. That man, for as long as I've known him to be the mayor, has bitched and bitched and bitched and then taken action to put speed bumps in his village. They're all over Agana Heights. And the same as Sinahania. Mayor Robert Hoffman and his predecessor as well. Putting speed bumps all over their villages because of people who speed through. And because of all the kids who play around. And you know what? They're small villages, and they have all of these youth athletic leagues and all of these programs for young people and for the elderly as well. And I really have to hand it to mayors like Paul McDonald and Robert Hoffman for listening to the concerns of their constituents in Agana Heights and Sinahania and taking action. I remember this time when Mayor McDonald and former Mayor Ungakta from the village of Agana they had this dispute about the border of where Agana Heights begins and Agana ends. And there used to be this sign near Triangle Park. What the hell is the name? I can't remember the name of that stupid. What is it? Tatuan Park, the one right below Government House. There was this sign that said, "Welcome to Agana Heights." And Mayor McDonald was just so adamant that that was where his village started. He was even off the camera, he was like, "Fuck you, Felix." To Mayor Ungakta. And so Mayor Ungakta, the old man, on camera, he brought all the cameras down to Triangle Park to show him lifting up the sign that said, "Welcome to the municipality of Agana Heights." This little old man picking up that damn sign and throwing it in the dumpster. Oh my God, news isn't what it used to be. So, back to the issue at hand. When I saw that story about the 4-year-old boy, my heart just broke into a million pieces. I can't even begin to imagine the grief of that family. And just yesterday, less than 30 hours ago, that little boy was sitting on a couch with his grandma while his grandma was trying to put his little sister to sleep. And then he went to look for his grandma. And he went outside, he went to the curb. They live in a cul-de-sac. We got some footage of the cul-de-sac earlier today. So you can imagine, it's just a small street. It's not near the highway or anything. And he tripped, and there's video footage of this that the family had to watch after they came back from the morgue without their baby. And they watched this footage of the little boy tripping and then asking the car to stop. He asked that car to stop. The fucking car didn't stop. Because some bitch what do you tell? If you're a parent of a little kid, what do you tell that little kid? And the little kid sees the news story about it. What happened to that boy? Why did that happen to that boy? What are you supposed to say? So this bitch, I don't care. I don't care. I don't give two flying fucks about her or her family or whatever it is they're going through, whatever regret they have. There's nothing compared to the last few seconds of that boy's life before he asked you to fucking stop, you stupid, heartless bitch. You stupid fucking bitch. Fucking. You are a dumb fucking bitch, I swear to God. There is a fucking special place in hell for you. You ended that boy's life. Ended it because you're a dumb fuck. Just a complete fucking moron. A waste of space on this earth. All you did on this earth was provide destruction to that family. You ended a 4-year-old boy's life. One day before his 1-year-old sister's birthday. So spare me your commiseration. Spare me your cries for mercy or your sorrow or whatever. Or, oh, it was just an accident. Go fuck yourself and your fucking accident. It wasn't just a fucking accident. There's footage of this car. Hold on. It's back in Mariana's dirty laundry and I hope it's shared everywhere. No. Hold on, let me find it real fast. Alessia Canata, I believe, was the one who posted it. And Alessia's been on just a rampage to try and find out who this bitch is. Oh, I think it's on my page. Where the fuck is this thing? I swear to God I posted it somewhere. It is, what I'm looking for is this footage of that car, that red Corolla or whatever it was, license plate PD 4176. A few days ago, it was, oh shit, I'm at 4%. A few days ago, it was at, it was seen in Dedito, and someone, oh, here we are. Someone was wise enough to take footage of it. Anyway, I can't find the damn footage, but someone was wise enough to take footage of it because it was weaving through traffic really fast. It was speeding, and then it takes a left turn into Dedito, and it just runs the red light, just runs it. Same fucking car that was at the scene that, according to news reports, hit that boy. So this wasn't this bitch's first time at the fucking rodeo. It's not like this was just an ordinary accident, all right? And according to the research that Alessia has been able to do, we can go to my page now. This is her. Yeah. Shame her, 'cause she fucking deserves it. Look at that fucking disgusting fucking smile on her face. Fuck her. Fuck her. Fucking bitch. May she rot in fucking hell. Now, there are all these comments here. Hold on, we're trying to plug in my laptop because it's gonna die. One sec. Want me to move back here? So, Eric's trying to find a way to plug my laptop in so it doesn't die, so that's why we're not back to my screen yet, because he's trying to figure this out right now. But let me say this about Guam Police Department. We asked Sergeant Paul Tapal today. We asked him whether, I said, "Hi, Sergeant Tapal, this is Troy. Is anyone under questioning or investigation in the AutoPed death of the 4-year-old boy?" At 10:50 tonight, he said, "Currently under investigation with our traffic investigators. We are continuing the investigation with more interviews and scene measurements." Now, there was also a discussion in Mariana's Dirty Laundry, which isn't always about, you know, all these like racy things, but sometimes the conversations get pretty serious. And today was one of those times when the conversation got pretty serious about, and it was about that 4-year-old boy. One of the things that was mentioned was that, and these are from people who are in the know, people who know things like this. Alessia Canate asked, why haven't they arrested this girl yet? This fucking idiot, this fucking amoeba, I swear to God. Someone needs to run her ass over. And why hasn't anyone arrested her yet? How come the police haven't arrested her? And one of the comments, it was from Missy Ray Cruz. She says, and I think it was Cedric Maravilla that said, I think they're waiting for the autopsy results first, you know, to confirm that, you know, this was what we all know it was, what the video footage showed that it was, right? And Alessia says, why can't they just look at the video footage and know that it is what it is? And so Missy Ray Cruz chimes in and says the officers, she believes, are doing everything that they need to, everything that they're supposed to, so that they can have an ironclad case, and she believes that an arrest is forthcoming. And so in our rush for justice, we need to not forget that the police have a job to do together with the prosecutor's office so that they have a solid case, so that they're not in court fighting some little detail that they forgot and then losing on a technicality. So I say give the Guam Police Department some time to put this all together, and I don't see I cannot see how they would fuck up something like this. You know, I think what they're trying to do is get everything in place now. Now the conversation moves to what this family has said and what neighbors have said. And maybe this family is just so grief-stricken and just shocked by what happened that they're not going to be at the forefront of this discussion. So let's make this at the forefront of this discussion. What we know that they've been asking for before this boy died that could have prevented his death. They said, one, they've been telling the police about this stupid fucking amoeba speeding through, racing all over the goddamn place, like this is the NASCAR or whatever, or like this is, the fuck do they call that place in Puget? Yeah, the Raceway. Fucking idiot. It's a fucking neighborhood with children. The family and neighbors have said that they've reported to police. This is how often it's happened with this woman. They've reported to police several times that she's been speeding through. Okay. Now, not the most urgent of crimes for the police department to handle, but always in hindsight. Hindsight's always a bitch. In hindsight, if they had done something, this might not have happened. But I'm sure the Guam Police Department gets calls like these all the time. Now, what is more alarming and speaks to the shittiness of this government and how reactionary it is to everything is that this family and neighbors have said that several times they've called the mayor's office to put a speed bump in that area because of this woman. By the way, if you're listening from the women's correctional facility, when you see this woman, just tell her we said hello. So, they've been asking for a speed bump. You know how much a speed bump costs? I remember it. I remember the cost from just a couple of years ago when mayors were asking for some help from Public Works to put in speed bumps. This was the post-Joe Man Brown era when things could actually get done, when they didn't have that overarching ogre trying to run everyone's lives. And Glenn Leon Guerrero became the director of Public Works. So he provided an estimate, cost about $300 for your average neighborhood speed bump. $300. Let me show you the staffing pattern for the Mayor's Council of Guam. Let's go to my screen. Now, I want you to look not on this left-hand side where it says fund source, general fund, all that shit, right? Not at the position title or the name or even the salary. I want you to look at the bottom right-hand corner of each of these boxes for totals. To run the administration of the Mayor's Council, actually it starts up here, 68,000 plus 413,000, 414,000. So what is that? 482,000 plus, I get Mayor's office, 482 plus 504 is 986. 986 plus, let's just round this shit off, plus 900, or 1 million plus 300, 1.3 million, plus 400,000, 1.7 million, plus 100,000, 1.8 million, plus 700,000, 2.5 million, plus 300,000, 2.8 million, plus 150,000, 2.95 million, plus 358,000. It's getting harder and harder. 2.95. 3.4 million plus, or 3.3 million, sorry. Let's just round all of this together to 200,000. 3.6 million. 3.9 million. 4.2 million. 4.4 million. 4.7 million. 5 million. 5.3 million. 5.5 million. 6 million. 6.5 million. 6.8 million. 6.9 million. All together, 7.2 million. 7.5 million. 7.6 million. 7.8 million. 8 million. 8.2 million. $10.8 million. $10.8 million on the salaries alone to run the mayoral offices of Guam. Now, that math is going to be a little off, but it hovers around $10 million. That doesn't even include the millions in funds it has access to from the Tourist Attraction Fund, from the, what's that stupid fund called? The Territorial Highways Fund, Territorial Education Facilities Fund. It has access to all of these different funds to do all of these different things. And you know what they spend their money on? Now, some of the mayors, they spend their money on speed bumps. Very important thing. Very fundamental sort of thing for a village mayor to want, because it's about the safety of the kids that walk the streets there. And you see some mayors, like Mayor Jesse Gogui of Chalampago, out directing traffic himself in the morning. You see Mayor Paul McDonald, Mayor Robert Hoffman, they're always, all about the safety of kids and, the youth leagues and all that stuff. Mayor Rudy Matsunani, always going through his village, making sure everything's okay. So spare me the fucking overtures about, oh, we don't have funding. It's just not enough. The people ask us to do too many things for too little money. Go fuck yourself, okay? Don't tell me with all those millions of dollars and all the money spent just for entrance fees and for travel, for all your different constituents, for all as political payback or as political currency for your next election, that you couldn't find $300 to put a speed bump on Munga Court or in all of these other different areas throughout this island where that there are speed racers galore just trying to get to and from one place or another, acting like this is fucking goddamn Cincinnati, or this is the Euro Rail, or this is Shanghai. I'll tell you what, this ain't no fucking Los Angeles. This ain't New York City. It's not Paris or Berlin or Shanghai or Beijing. This ain't Ueno. This ain't Palikir. This is not Honolulu. This is motherfucking Guam, all right? You slow the fuck down when you're driving on village streets, because there are kids who are playing in those streets like they're supposed to be doing, because that's how it's fucking done here. So you slow the fuck down, you dumb fucking bitch. And yet, our mayors, you don't have $300 for speed bumps, but they have $1,129 for their travel authorization to take their happy asses to Manila for a strawberry festival. We don't even fucking grow strawberries here, you dumb bitches. The fuck are you doing spending that money at a fucking strawberry festival? Or for your stupid fucking mayoral accord for your sister city bullshit. Those are just junkets and you fucking know it. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Just ashamed of yourselves for your fucking failure on this island. Just an absolute failure to defend children and to protect your neighborhoods. Not all of you, mayors, but some of you. And don't fucking come to me about funding or how hard you work. Obviously, you weren't working hard enough, and you can't tell me about funding when you spend your fucking money on junkets and stupid shit throughout your villages. Taxpayer money, not even your own fucking money, while the taxpayers are demanding that you put in some fucking speed bumps and playgrounds. So fuck yourselves, mayors. Go and fuck yourselves. I'm gonna anger eat that whole fucking bag of Doritos. I better be careful. I'm gonna end up like the fat people I talk about. So, I'm gonna switch gears here because my blood pressure is just... In the roundtable that Senator Therese Terlahi had with members of the Department of Corrections, the Behavioral Health and Wellness blah, blah, blah agency, and the parole board. Now, it was all a parole board hearing, okay? It was a parole board hearing because Senator Terlahi, even before this Paul Moffness thing happened, wanted to know what's up with the parole board and the stupid decisions it's been making. She didn't say that in her letter, but I'm just paraphrasing. She wanted to know, hey guys, why such stupid decisions? So let's just highlight Senator Therese Terlahi as one of those leaders where it doesn't require some major travesty on this island to happen before she does something about something. She's not reactionary. She actually is one of those leaders who does things because it's the right thing to do. And so in the long list of stupid leaders on this island, let's just hold her up and applaud her for being one of those diamonds in the rough among our political community. Someone who does something because it's the right thing to do and not just because it's politically expedient at the time. So she called this roundtable hearing before the whole Paul Moffness thing happened. But because the whole Paul Moffness thing happened, there has been more of a focus by the media and especially by the community about the parole board's practices. Before we get to that, we want to show you just how fucked up our justice system is. Now, a few days ago, we brought you the story about how a sexual predator whose victim was a 9-year-old female at the time was out on parole. It was paroled by the infamous Michelle Titano, dumb fuck extraordinaire of our political community, chairwoman of the Guam Parole Board, still the chairwoman of the Guam Parole Board, despite all the proof, all the evidence, and everything in between to show that she should not be the chairwoman of the parole board because she's an idiot. and because she has no heart whatsoever for victims of sex abuse crimes. So Michelle and her group of idiots, including Pastor Tom Van Engen and Lena Hammond, and I'll show you Lena in this video that is upcoming and how stupid she looks, and some of the stupid things that she said at the parole hearing for John Jr. Pangilinan. Not what she said to him, but what she said to his wife, the poor thing, who was there talking about her kids and how she wants her husband back so that he can help to take care of her and all this stuff. I'm not saying, I'm not taking one side or another in that whole thing. I'm just coming to the defense of this woman who was asked really stupid questions by Lena Hammond, just to show you how stupid the parole board is. So there have been lots of questions about, well, how stupid is this parole board and how far up does corruption go? That all of these sexual predators have been released into our community. And so when we look at the parole board, there's God Factor 1, Michelle Titano, who like preys upon, P-R-A-Y and P-R-E-Y apparently, preys upon the sexual predator community. And then there is her partner in crime, Pastor Tom Van Engen from the Faith Presbyterian Church. And we looked at him and brought you the story a few days ago, and I wanted to show you what we were talking about because we didn't have the TriCaster. I did the thing from my house. But I wanted to show you who recommended Pastor Tom Van Engen, well, let me show you first who recommended Pastor Tom Van Engen. Can we put up that picture of Chief Justice Catherine Merriman's stunning letter of recommendation to Pastor Tom Van Engen, or for Pastor Tom Van Engen? It's up. So this is a letter that she wrote to then Vice Speaker or Speaker B.J. Cruz in support of Pastor Tom Van Engen's nomination to the parole board. And in this letter, she talks about how she was instrumental in bringing him to Guam. Why? Because she's part of his church. Very interesting. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Guam is, she hands her soul up through the intercession of Pastor Tom Van Engen, who has been releasing sexual predators into our community, some of whom may have actually gone through former trial judge Catherine Merriman's courtroom. Maybe some of them have even on appeal been the subject of one of her opinions. And let's put up the picture of Pastor Tom Van Engen at, I believe it's his home, with Ellis White, the sex predator, in his damn living room, enjoying Sunday church intercession. And then when you think that, hey, maybe there's not really a connection between this sexual predator and Chief Justice Catherine Merriman, well, you'd be wrong, because in this next picture that we have up, who do we see in this picture? Oh, look, it's Chief Justice Catherine Merriman taking up about 45% of the picture, and behind her, straining, is Ellis White, the sex predator, the child sex predator, all enjoying this happy picture. Now, there's other pictures of Ellis White. Aside from his mugshot, he was at the Angel Tree Program Christmas dinner for the Faith Presbyterian Church, Chief Justice Catherine Merriman's church. Chief Justice Catherine Merriman also is called in the obituary for Joe Man Brown's father, the reared sister to Joe Man Brown. Yeah, very close to Joe Man. Didn't disclose that conflict of interest when discussing is it the Francine Rocio, or is it the Josette Havalosa? I believe it's the Josette Havalosa case in the Port 7. I mean, just when you think that, hey, our court system must not be polluted with the politics of this island, there's Chief Justice Catherine Merriman proving us all wrong. So, in going back to this parole hearing, and Tom Van Ingen is there, he's there as well, but it isn't what he says that's as alarming as what Michelle Titano says. Now, I want you to listen closely. We can go to my screen now. Listen closely to this exchange between Senator Therese Terlahi and Michelle Tyson. I'll take you through a couple of these portions of this roundtable discussion that happened on May 6th.
Michelle Titano, chairperson. Are you the chairperson of the parole board?
Okay, he said he was going to turn it on. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. All those, we did adhere to that, all those conditions.
Was there a mental health evaluation or other professional evaluation provided to the parole board before the hearing?
One was requested, ma'am, but we did not receive one.
Okay, just stop right there. That's a fucking lie. So, we were the ones who brought you that recording between Michelle Titano and I, where she blames the 10-year-old victim of Paul Moffinis Jr. and says, you know, what was she doing at 6 in the morning walking to the bus stop? Fucking idiot. So immediately before that conversation, we were on the phone with Parole Services Division. And we specifically asked about this psychological evaluation because we understood from our experience in the government that that's just something that in the case of someone, a serial rapist like Paul Moffinis Jr., if there were to be any consideration that he would be released, that there had to be a psychological evaluation by Dr. Timing of the prison's psychological. It may have been Dr. Lighthizer at the time in 2014. It might not have been Dr. Timinglo, but I think it was Dr. Timinglo. So Michelle here says that she requested one and none was provided, not according to the Parole Services Division, who told us that Michelle and her board never asked for a fucking psych eval. That's why Parole Services never conducted one. Let's continue.
Was there any other report of mental status that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of, ma'am.
Were you provided reports of the pre-sentence investigation from the sentencing court?
We have reports, so yes, most of that is included in our investigative reports. I would have to look specifically at the file to answer that specifically.
Now, earlier in this hearing, Therese Terlahi asked Michelle Tyson specifically, have you adhered to all of the different conditions prescribed by law in order to release whoever you release on parole? And Michelle Titano answers yes. Then later in this hearing, there's a whole discussion about, hold on. Wait, let me get my piece of paper that has, 1 second. I just need to get my piece of paper that has my timing notes on this. Okay, I have it. So later, there's a whole discussion about this pre-sentencing report thing.
We don't provide the PSI. We're only there to review reports and extract whatever we need, but
All right.
we can.
Ron Santos from Parole Services admits there we don't provide the PSI, which is statutorily required for the parole board to review in order to release anyone. And Michelle Tyson says, oh yes, on this checklist, we've checklisted everything that the statute requires. Ron Santos says, we don't provide the PSI. Let's see what the rest of them say.
Get a copy.
You can't Cannot? Is that correct?
My understanding is that there's a separate provision in the law that restricts the duplication of pre-sentence investigation reports once they have been submitted to the sentencing judge and to the attorneys involved in the.
I'm going to stop you right here, not for the content, but if you look toward the back of that room, you see where the camera guy is? The camera guy in the blue? Then below the camera guy is a guy who's wearing glasses. His name is Steve Guerrero. He is a member of the parole board. He's a good guy. Next to him is an ogre-looking thing, and her name is Lena Hammond. She is a member of the parole board, and she is known to be one of the biggest bitches on that parole board and asks really stupid questions about God to parolees and to their family members. And in a recent parole board hearing prior to our cameras arriving, she asked John Jr. Pangalinan's wife, as a condition of, you know, granting parole, why haven't you had children with Mr. Pangilinan yet? Well, first of all, bitch, it ain't the easiest thing to do when one of them's in prison. Secondly, and yeah, there's all those conjugal whatever in a very public kind of way. If you're into that kind of stuff, okay, fine. But how about her reproductive health is none of your fucking business? How about that? Not any of the parole board's business. What a stupid fucking bitch. Anyway, let's continue with this outing of Michelle Titano being a liar.
The case, in fact, our procedure is once a defendant has been sentenced, the pre-sentence investigation reports that are provided to counsels at the time of the sentencing are returned, the originals are returned back to the court for safekeeping.
All right, may I ask the parole board, have you ever seen these types of reports that are listed in this statute? A pre-sentence investigation report of the sentencing court or recommendations at the time of sentencing by the judge or the prosecutor?
Not specifically, ma'am.
All right.
Not specifically, ma'am. So just a few minutes prior to this, she says, yes, we checklisted everything that the statute provides. Now she says, no, not that one. And I think it's like the first thing that the statute prescribes.
Right. Okay, thank you. What training, is there any training that you're aware of that's given to the parole board members and parole officers, specifically in regards to sexual offenders?
There aren't any at the moment, ma'am, not specifically for sex offenses. We worked with the judicial a couple of years ago. We were trying to get some, maybe a grant through the judiciary, and so we were looking into those areas, but I guess that didn't go through.
Well, 1 second. Just stay on the screen.
You lie! You're a fucking liar! Shut up!
Yeah. Yeah, she's a fucking liar. Now, come off my screen for a second so I can open a new thing while everyone's seeing my business. Are we off my screen? Yes. Okay. I want to read to you guys an email. A few days ago, we did get we did bring you the story of how Michelle must have been lying, because in her application to be a parole board member again, which was submitted just last year, she noted down under the section that says training received that she received training from the judiciary on how to handle sex offenders. And she received this training in January of 2014, which is 1 month prior to the parole hearing and parole of Paul Moffness Jr. Now, Johnny was very much on this today, and she was like, at first she was like, I think she lied in her application. And so we weren't entirely sure. So she hunted this down, and she emailed Sean Gumatauta over the course because Michelle indicated that the training happened with the judiciary. So she writes to Sean Gumatauta, and she says, Buenas and Hafade, attached as part of Michelle Hope Taitano's parole board packet. This is in her packet, yet at the public hearing this week, she said the judiciary did not come through for them on some requested grants for training. Can you verify if she did attend and get certified in this training, and also comment on what grants or programs she was referencing? Thank you for your kind attention to this matter. Sidzuis Maasi, Johnny Rosario, Candid News. Sean writes back today, Hafade. Well, we can go to my screen. Our court programs office has confirmed that Ms. Taitano did attend the Judiciary of Guam training on January 6 through 9, 2014, as listed in the attachment administered by the University of Cincinnati Corrections Institute. I am unclear on her judiciary did not come through for them comments made in the meeting this past week. The Judiciary of Guam funded 9 training seats for a cognitive behavioral intervention for sexual offending program to include a train the trainer component, which included DOC Mark Perez, and we'll show him to you in the video, Parole Lisa Castro, and Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center attendees. The dates of the training was December 13 through 16, 2016. The cost for the CBISO, also administered by UCCI, to train the 9 individuals was $12,500. It is a 51-session curriculum consisting of 7 modules. Sean. So let's bring you back to that video of the parole board hearing to hear a little bit more about the truth of this matter. And you'll hear the truth because Michelle Taitano passes the baton.
May I add briefly that...
That's Tom Van Engen.
I don't know if all the board members have, but I attended orientation for parole board members to the National Institute of Corrections. Got to fly to Denver for that training for a week or so. It's not specific to criminal sexual conduct.
All right, what about the parole officers? Do you receive special training regarding sexual offenses?
No, ma'am.
Right now, we have 2 that are attending through the court's reentry program. They're the ones who were able to get a training, and that's caseworker Paris and 1 parole officer, Tanatongo Lisa. So
Training for what? What is that training for?
This is Mark Perez.
In 2017, if I remember correctly, myself and parole officer Lisa Castro attended a sex offender program. Here on Island is an evidence-based treatment program for sex offenders.
All right. Does that program been incorporated into the Department of Corrections?
Yes, we are actually on our second group.
So just recently. How
Yes.
recent is that, may I ask? How recent?
Recent, if I remember, we got trained in 2017, and we started our first group, and then the second group started last year. It is a 51 session program, so we can either take it 1 week at a time for 1 year, twice a week for 6 months. So it's a lengthy program.
What is the goal of that program?
The goal is to teach skills and to change their thinking process. That if they have a goal of never returning back to DOC, or if they have a positive goal, then they would have these skills to remind them what to do, how to get out of problematic situations. But ultimately,
Just go ahead and stay on my screen. Here's Michelle Taitano.
Oh God. You dirty little liar. I'm sorry, I can explain. Explain how you forgot to to invite us to your party?
Janice, I cannot stop this car. I have a curfew.
You know I couldn't invite you. I had to pretend to be plastic. Buddy, you're not pretending anymore. You're plastic. Cold, shiny, hard plastic.
That's some ugly fucking plastic. Like Michelle Tyson's exterior. She's pretty ugly, if you ask me. That's just my opinion. That's me being plastic. Michelle caught in a fucking lie again. Just over and over, this woman lies with contempt to the legislature. So we asked Senator Terlahi. Johnny did. Hold on, let me get this out. She wrote to Senator Terlahi today after finding out that, that she just lied, that Michelle Tyson lied to the legislature. Half-a-day Senator, Candid News would appreciate a response from you on the following. Earlier this week, you held a hearing on parole operations, and during that hearing, Ms. Michelle Hope Tyson told you and your committee members that parole board members had not received any training. Are you on my screen, Chelu? On sex offenders, and then she went further to say they had requested funding from the court, but according to her, I guess that didn't go through. Candid News confirmed today with court spokesman Sean Gumatautal that Ms. Taitano received training called A Comprehensive Approach to Managing Sex Offenders from January 6 through 9, 2014 at the Judiciary of Guam, and it was administered by the University of Cincinnati Corrections Institute. That was the month before she paroled Paul Moffness. Additionally, the court is unclear on why Ms. Taitano would say they did not get assistance as requested when, according to Gumatautal, quote, the Judiciary of Guam funded 9 training seats for a cognitive behavioral intervention for sexual offending program to include a train the trainer component, which included DOC Mark Perez, Parole Lisa Castro, and GBHWC attendees. The dates of the training was December 13 through 16, 2016. The cost for the CBISO, also administered by UCCI, to train the 9 individuals is $12,500. It is a 51-session curriculum consisting of 7 modules, unquote. Based on this information we received from the judiciary, does it appear to you that Ms. Taitano was being honest when testifying before your panel? Based on this information from the judiciary, do you plan to seek clarification from Ms. Taitano on her statements to the committee? What is your reaction knowing that Ms. Taitano did receive training, that the judiciary did provide specific training to parole board members? Thank you. And so Johnny did receive, we can go off of my screen now. I'm going to go to WhatsApp or to my other mail system. So Senator Teresa Terlahi did respond. And she said, half a day, Johnny. I sent an inquiry several weeks ago to the judiciary asking specifically about training available to judges relative to criminal sexual offenders and whether it had made training available to parole. The responses provided by the judiciary at the roundtable hearing appear to be in stark contrast to the answers the judiciary provided to you, and this is concerning. From the information you provided by email, I cannot verify whether Ms. Taitano received any training or whether only another person, Lisa Castro, received training for parole. I will follow up with the judiciary as to why its answers to me seem to conflict with the answers to you. The roundtable made clear to me that the different components of our system must re-examine their processes and especially the discretion that they are utilizing in criminal sexual conduct cases to determine if their decisions are based on an accurate assessment of risk of harm to the community. This assessment must begin way before parole at pre-sentence, and discretion at sentencing must be refocused on the risk of harm to the community. Discussions by stakeholders must be forthright and prompt if we are to achieve swift reform. Seems to me like Senator Teresa Terlahi has just about had it with that half-wit Michelle Taitano, and now she's going after the big guns over the judiciary. Well, going all the way back to pre-sentencing and the reports that are provided to judges and the sort of decisions that judges make in the sentencing of people convicted of criminal sexual conduct. So bravo to her. Now, we also asked the Speaker's office earlier tonight in the WhatsApp chat group for the media people. 1 second, let me just get this out. Speaker's office, okay. Chirag, that's Speaker Barnes' assistant. In the hearing regarding the parole board, Michelle Taitano told senators that members had not received any training regarding sex offenders. She lied. In her application last year to retain her parole board seat, she listed January 2014 training provided by the Guam Judiciary in how to deal with sex offenders that she received. This was 1 month prior to the parole hearing and parole of Paul Moffness Jr. May we know Speaker Barnes' reaction to this. Also, was Michelle Taitano under oath when she answered these questions? If so, will the Speaker move to hold her in contempt of the legislature? So Chirag responded for the Speaker, and this is from Speaker Tina Munya Barnes. At this moment, we are examining all the facts. Should a complaint be delivered to our office, we will follow the due process and act accordingly. Well, then I'll just have to file a complaint to the Speaker's office about that half-wit Michelle Taitano, because it is pretty fucking arrogant of her. And I'm a pretty arrogant person, but it is just supremely arrogant of that bitch. Not Tina Barnes, I'm talking about Michelle Taitano. To continue to hold office after all of this uproar from the community, and then not only that, to go before the legislature, the people's body, and to lie with impunity before senators about the role that she played in this entire mess. I don't know which one is closer to Satan, Michelle Taitano or that bitch who hit that kid. It's a tough call. All I know is that people like them should just be wiped off the face of this earth for the harm that they've caused to children. They may think that all their good deeds and all their God praying and all of that bullshit makes them somehow immune from this sort of well-deserved and well-earned judgment. But all they really are culprits who hurt kids. That's all they are. So, Michelle, you fucking liar. This one's for you. Good night, Guam.